Today I'm critiquing Cara Delevingne's house, the one with the infamous vagina, and then I'm going to give it an Arvin score at the end of the video. So if you ever decide to build a mansion yourself, you won't make the same mistakes. I'm Arvin Haddad, I'm the how to buy a mansion guy. Let's watch this video together.
Hi guys, we've met before, right? Hi AD, I'm Cara Delevingne and welcome to my house. Leo, come on. Okay, yeah, see you later. Be back by 10.
Okay, this is the wow factor. Now, she's purposefully blocked it with some palm tree leaves, and we'll come back to that. But this is a wraparound layout, and we're going to talk extensively about the layout of this house because it's really impressive, and it's something that we haven't really talked about before.
This house is one of my favorite places to be. It's kind of like an adult playhouse, I like to call it. So we start off here. This is one of my favorite art pieces in the house. It's James Turrell.
Personally, don't care so much about this art installation. What I do care about is the three elements that she brings in that really anchors the energy in the property. One is bringing the outside in, okay? A lot of vegetation, think jungle. Second, think Hollywood glam, Beverly Hills Hotel. Third, think sexual energy, Playboy Mansion. Pay attention to it. You're going to see it throughout the whole property.
But don't stay too long because you might start to hallucinate. And as we go into this other room, this is kind of the main sitting room. If you look at the ceiling, I really love the lattice work. It reminds me of being outside. And the Gucci wallpaper is also one of my favorites. And you'll see a continuation of that around the house. This is one of my favorite pieces in the room. It reminds me of being in England. I don't know why, with like horse straps, I suppose. We have a beautiful fireplace in here for the winter. A rotisserie chicken thing, which I've never used, but it was part of the old house, but it will hopefully one day be used when I am able to get my family here for Christmas. That will be amazing. So this is the kitchen. I love that color blue. I think it's one of my favorite colors. We have a massive pantry. So after the kitchen, we're gonna go into the main dining room.
Okay, before we see the dining room, let me situate you on the lot so you see how this layout loops around back to the great room where you have the wow factor when we walked in. It's really interesting, and it's all about the shape of this property. But first, let's talk about the location. Fryman Canyon Estates in Studio City. It's a hidden gem. I absolutely love this location. Now, the lot itself is a flag lot, meaning it's very, very private and it's perched up from the street, which solves the shadow problem that Fryman Canyon has. It's very, very lit. You have a private driveway uphill. You come to the motor court, and the first thing you notice is the Fort Court L-shaped layout. What the hell is that? Look, it's an L-shaped home that instead of hugging the backyard, is hugging the motor court. Now, this is not for every house, but for a flag lot, it can really unlock its potential. You will see why later in the video.
This house before, it was built in around the 30s, but before the guys who owned it, it was very black and white. And I wanted to lighten everything up, brighten everything up. And I took one of the old art pieces from my first AD thing with my sister, and I put it in this house, the Chemical X. Shh, Alfie!
Did she just call my name?
Alfie!
What? Okay, let me show you guys the layout where we are on the house right now because it could get very confusing. When you walk in, there's this half wall that creates a little separation between and frames the wow factor to look through the depth. But when you wrap around it next to that visual art piece, you turn around, you go to your family area, you go to your breakfast nook and the kitchen. The kitchen had a blue door that goes to the garage, and the other opening goes to the dining table, and the dining table connects to the formal living space, which we're gonna see right after this.
This house is very hard floors, so when you step on the floor too much, it hurts your feet. That sounds so spoiled, and I know it is, but I got a little mini razor scooter so I could scoot from my bedroom to the kitchen. Yeah. So now we're back into the drawing room. I call this the games room. This wicked, well, it's a see-through piano, which I like to play piano on naked because I've been alone in this house for a long time, so generally I would be naked, but obviously AD said no to that, so I don't know why.
Look, this is not the only thing AD sucks at. They're still shooting in 1080p, and this is Architectural Digest, for God's sake. And mostly, what happened to the whole architecture, by the way? This is Interior Design Digest now. You guys don't even talk about Architectural Digest. But yeah, showing you naked is the least of our issues right now with this channel.
As we come over here, again, Hugh Hefner is a big inspiration for this house. You know, this is kind of feels like my Playboy mansion. I was very lucky to work with my architect, Nicolò Bini, who I worked with on the last house. He made all of my mad, crazy ideas, which, you know, some things I thought he would say, we can't do that, or that's kind of crazy, but he made all of them come to life. I would say if I was Alice in Wonderland, he'd be the Mad Hatter. So this was probably the newest thing that he helped me create. I think I called him up one day and asked for this, and he genuinely made this happen. So this is my vagina tunnel. Shall I go through? I'm gonna go through. Oh God. And then you're inside. You wanna come in, Alfie? Come on, baby. I come in here to think, I come in here to create, I feel inspired in the vagina tunnel.
I am inspired too. This is really impressive. I've never seen a house, critiqued a house online or in person, that the house is such a perfect expression of someone's personality. It's really, really rare. I mean, she's incorporated her complete personality into this property, including her body part. And she's, you know, acted before, but to, you know, keep it real, she's much more known as a supermodel. And most supermodels that I've talked to, you know, personality is not quite there. You know, they've relied so much on their looks that, you know, they haven't really cultivated that part of their being. And it's so refreshing to see someone who is so real and so honest and just so herself, right? And then designing her house in exactly those terms for herself is really impressive. Again, personally, I haven't seen anything like it.
So I'm going to show you where this lovely labia leads. See you there. Oh God, Leah, watch out. Oh my gosh.
It leads to her anus. I think if that was the vagina, this has to be the anus.
Okay. Shh. Oh. See, rebirthed and cleansed. Again, Nicolò made that idea come to life, which I never thought possible. I think that was kind of a test to see how far he would go, and he went there. This is another bed that we bought from the old house.
She's got such an interesting personality. I love it. And randomly, it comes to the guest bedroom. Again, I don't know what the reason for this was. I don't know. Like, good concept. I don't know if the location was the perfect execution.
This is where we lead on to the other Gucci wallpaper, so I like the kind of continuation of this house, because again, it's kind of crazy. And there's Leo again.
Did you guys see where we are? This is where the property breaks. It forms the L-shaped design, except the L doesn't hug the backyard. It hugs the motor court. Now, it's not for every lot, but it works for this flag lot. Why? Because it's perched up. And when it's perched up, it means it's got privacy, right? So by giving that L-shaped hug to the front, to the motor court, you architecturally, structurally, you make the motor court bigger, right? More impressive. And you don't take the width away from the backyard, because if it was hugging the backyard, it would take some portion of it, right? So it kind of maximizes this, but it comes with one negative, where your bedrooms will be on the motor court side. But again, because it's a flag-shaped lot and it has privacy even on the motor court side, is not as bad. Now, I do this in my inner circle. I help people choose the right shape for the lot, or choose the right lot for the shape of the house they want. And then we design the inside, the architectural style, the layout, the 10 principles, and pressure test every decision along with the architect and the developer to make sure they have the home that would, you know, have a great resale, and they will love it and everyone else will love it as well. If you're interested, here's the QR code, fill out the form. If you're a right fit, I would love to help you out.
This is my favorite bathroom in the house. This is the David Bowie shrine. So everything in here is David Bowie. I also like to collect Japanese puzzle boxes. Oh, wait a minute. Hi, look at who it is. It's me and my sister and Rudy. They're all cute. Yeah, I collect Japanese puzzle boxes. So if anyone ever wants an idea for a present for me, that's what I should receive. That's kind of a weird thing to say. Also, my Chanel surfboard. If I were to go surfing, I would only surf with Chanel. Sure. Ow, that's a door. Oh, this is my bedroom. Every time I walk in here, I feel calm again. Again, kind of with the theme of Alice in Wonderland, I have these like beautiful urns inside. I also have this wonderful piano by my bed, which makes me feel really happy because I wake up and I just play. This bed is obviously, this is from my old house. It's again huge, and the furniture from the old house as well. We also have these lovely bouquet of vagina flowers. It's vagina appreciation.
Okay, so this bedroom opens up to the motor court from the windows, and this outdoor patio is also where the private driveway meets the motor court. So not the best of privacy, but again, you're perched up, you're gated at the bottom. It's not as bad. Now, you could technically put the primary bedroom on the backyard side and the secondary bedrooms on this side. They've chose to set it up this way. But even a secondary bedroom over here, it's not as bad as being, on the street, really, really close to the street. So it makes sense to make this decision as to, have a fourth court L-shaped home and have a wider backyard, which you're going to see later in the video. It's a sacrifice that I can understand why an architect would make.
Oh, look at Arvin sitting on the bed like a good boy. These are his stairs. Or just my stairs if I need help getting into the bed. But you never know, might happen. This is my wardrobe. Everything, again, like I said, was very dark. So most of it was black, and it was quite hard to see any of the clothes. So we just decided to kind of paint it all white. So as we keep going through here, this bathtub is everything. A massive TV, you see this little walkway. It's quite scary probably for the gardener who sees me stark naked. I forget to put down the shade sometimes.
I don't think that's scary. I think that's the highlight of the week for him. That's the side setback with the neighbor, okay? This is the end of the property on this side. But what's most impressive here is, again, the loop layout. I really like the flow and the layout of this house where it really flows naturally. The whole bedroom, it flows naturally to its walk-in closet, the bathroom, and you'll see how it comes back to where it started again.
Then I have the steam shower, which is brilliant. This toweling chair, a his and her sink or a hers and her sink, depending on my mood. This is my shoe cupboard, which is basically just trainers and boots and like 1 or 2 pairs of heels. So as we go back through here, thank you, Leo, for guarding the door. Come here. This pool table is such a beautiful color. It's obviously vintage and just stunning. I'm pretty good at pools, so watch out, everybody. This is my favorite cue. It's pink. And then I like to just kind of stand. What? I'm joking. I knew that was there. That was probably really bad, wasn't it? Anyway, this is the secret door. I love things like escape rooms. That was kind of a lot of inspiration for this house, was like experiential. Again, like every room has a kind of different theme.
Okay, before we go to the attic where the fire started and burned the whole house down, let me tell you guys where we are. This room, or an office or a game room, is right next to the double bunk bed, okay? So you could have easily combined these two spaces to give the primary suite over here and had your vagina tunnel going straight to your master bedroom where the action is happening, okay? And then you could have had a study in between and another bedroom at the motor court side, right? So you could have made this issue of privacy even better for the primary bedroom.
So this is upstairs. This carpet is one of my favorites because you're just like following the tiger up the stairs. A lot of what this house was based on is like in my job and everything I do, I have to wear a lot of different hats. So I thought anyone who comes upstairs, you have to get a different hat. So this is my favorite wallpaper. Have I said that a million times? This is Jonathan Yeo. He's an artist. He's an incredible artist who's done a few portraits of me. This is also my costume cupboard. I just feel like everyone needs to change a little bit.
She's so fun. She's got so much character. You gotta love it. What's really impressive about this remodel she's done is that she's actually hasn't changed that much. If you look at the picture of how the house looked like, it looked really black and white, but she kept a lot of it. And she, exerted her personality so much to the property that it doesn't look anything like how the house used to look like. And that's really, really impressive. Now, pay attention how she partitions this really long, is really one room attic. She partitions it to different segments to give each space functionality, which I really, really admire.
This is where I take people's money and put it into the house. I'm pretty good at poker. My poker game of choice is Texas Hold'em. But I got taught recently by my godmother, Joan Collins, some other poker styles, which I'd never heard of, like baseball. I haven't played before until I played with her, but she's very good at poker, so that's kind of funny. I did not know this, but I feel like if you can, everyone needs to have a ball pit in a near vicinity. It doesn't matter what age you are. The meaning I have from this house is you just never grow up, always kind of maintain some sort of childlike innocence or joy or just the need for fun. They're really great for stress. You can't cry in a ball pit. I've tried. If you cry, jump in a ball pit. Honestly, you feel like an idiot.
Well said. I mean, what a great philosophy to live by, right? And most importantly, look how beautifully she's partitioned this whole attic, this really long attic, into a space where you come in, you have to freaking first put a hat on, right? Like, she gave a functionality there. Like there's a pause moment there, right? You have to pause and talk about a hat before you see the rest of the property. Otherwise, you would just go walk past that. And most people won't even appreciate that, right? And then after that, you walk into this poker room, which is really an entrance, right? It would have been a hallway of this wide attic. Like, you couldn't have anything else in there. She's partitioned this with this velvet, fabrics, and created a little cozy tent where you play poker. And then even the space under the dormer, she's filling up with balls to jump in. Like, I salute that. Like, a property that you can call home doesn't have to be a mansion. This is 8,000 square foot, and it's like, it's really big, but to me, it doesn't matter how wealthy you get. Like, even 6,000 square foot would do it for me if you can really express your personality into every space and want to hang out in every space of it. And I think she's done an incredible job. Now, the sad part is that a fire started in this attic somewhere and the house has been burned down.
I'm a big movie freak. This is the projector screen, which comes down from here, the sofa, and you just get cozy and just have a marathon of movies. It's been really great. On this screen specifically, watching anything David Attenborough or like Avatar, any like big cinema movies is crazy.
And the curtains on the poker room even help diffuse the sound, right? Again, everything works. I love it.
This is another bar. Again, we tried to carry in the theme of jungle and kind of taking the beautiful green throughout the house. There's a lot of golds, a lot of greens. Obviously, I like to drink DeleVingne's. Me and my sisters co-own this beautiful Prosecco company. This is a wicked little arcade machine which has every single arcade game you could ever want. All the old ones, you've got Tetris, Pac-Man, you play 2-player, you could do that for days. And then we have that next to this is an old classic vintage jukebox, which I picked out all of these 45s myself. This is my band room. This is where I like to play music, instruments. I play the drums and the piano and guitar, so I can kind of move around and play with people when they come over. This is a guitar I was given by Karl Lagerfeld. This is my David Bowie signed guitar. This is obviously like crazy fan girl freak out, like can't even deal. I played drums since I was about 8, so like 20 years.
What a cool cat. Love her personality and love her home even more. Really sad that it's burned down, and I hope she rebuilds it because it's a special lot in a special neighborhood and she had something special, and I hope they don't end up building a freaking mega mansion in this lot because I feel like the house was just perfect the way it was. It was one of the best layouts, one of the best homes I've actually critiqued.
Again, another secret door. This room is another continuation of my old house. This is kind of a little more sexy. I call this the pink room or the pussy palace. Everything is, you can touch. Again, it's all very like touchy, I suppose. A swing if you want to play. Lots of balls.
This is the least sexiest spot. It looks like a freaking cat furniture to me. I don't know why. Everything else was sexy. This was the least sexy place.
We have this like indoor-outdoor area. This is kind of like a seating area with a parrot, again, Jenga. Another bar, which is beautiful. I mean, I spend a lot of time out here because I could be trampolining. Oh no.
Did you guys see that? Another bar. The whole drinking setup in this house is on fire. Okay, there's so many different bars to hang out. It's really, really entertaining. But pay attention to the width of this backyard and how much of that Hollywood charm, Beverly Hills Hotel characters coming into the backyard, and think, was it worth giving this extra width to this backyard to have this such a large span of backyard, a big swimming pool, big grass area, open up, kind of just lights your heart out looking out to the backyard. Or it would have been better if you would have kind of took a big chunk of this and had the bedrooms facing this way.
This pool was, again, one of the reasons why I bought the house. When I saw this pool, everything about this house was different to every other house I'd seen. And this is, you know, where I have barbecues. Still haven't had one, but that will happen soon, hopefully this summer. You see the lions. They're my spirit animal, they're my star sign. I've met some lions in real life. They're really just incredible. But there is something to be said, like if you get intimidated by a lion, they can smell it. But if you show no fear, it kind of just is a metaphor for how I am in life. Like fake it till you make it, or at least just exude the thing that you want to be. I think fear is the biggest obstacle in life, and if we can kind of get over that, you can really do anything.
It's so fascinating to see how dynamic her personality is, how multifaceted it is, and how well she has expressed her personality in her home. And you can do that too. You don't have to go put a vagina in your house. You can go put something that it really defines who you are. On that note, let's give it an Arvin score. Location, Fryman Canyon Estates, one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of Los Angeles. Right by Studio City downtown, great school district, by the way, and then you can easily jump in and be in the middle of Hollywood in like 20-30 minutes. I absolutely love it. I'm going to give it a 9. Lot quality, you got an acre, almost all of it flat. I'm going to give it a 9. Lot utilization, you had a private driveway, you had a motor court, you had a very good frontage, you had a massive backyard with a lot of width, you had one bad side setback. I'm going to give it a 9. Privacy. No one even knows where this neighborhood is. You're a flag lot, private driveway, gated. You have no house looking into your property, completely lush greenery protecting you. I'm going to give it a 9. Lot orientation. You're west facing. You're a little bit close to the main road. You might be able to hear it a little bit. I'm going to give it a 6.5. Architectural style. Look, I'm going to give it an 8, and I will tell you guys why. It's East Coast traditional with a little colonial in there, but that's not why I'm giving it an 8. The reason I'm giving it an 8 was for the decision to do that inverted L-shape, Fort Court L-shaped design to really give the backyard the width that it really deserved for how lush and green it is. I think it was a good choice. It was a risky choice, but it was a good choice that they made, and it just made the house so much better. Views. It's not a view property. I'm going to give it a 0. Layout. This was really impressive. You had the wow factor as soon as you walked in, even though she had blocked it. And then the way the property looped so naturally. And then you had 3 bedrooms on one wing and easy access to the attic. It was simple, really, really good layout. Scale and volume. Average American home, nothing special. I'm going to give it a 5. Now, this is the Arvin score. And if you want to see the gayest house I've ever critiqued, you should watch this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the comments.